Welcome back, brothers. Explosions everywhere. Units flying across the map. This is Beyond All Reasons Chaos at its finest. On the blue side, the content creator team, not real, better strategy. And Amir, the coordination commander. And red side, the 40 OS rats, hungrier than a pack of wild hyenas. Who are you gonna pick? Choose your champion, as this match is about to get more chaotic. Then, a Black Friday sale at Walmart. We're on Supreme, the map of maps and Beyond All Reason. One choke point, 4 men. It's about to get greasy. 2 Naval Cs. This, not important in the early game, but as the game scales up into that mid to late game, Naval will come online harder than my hairline. And that's when the sea gets bloody, my friends. Amir, squadron of ticks looking to break through Red's defenses. This could be make or break, as this is a quite hefty investment, 300 metal in total, skating across the eastern flank. Will they make it through, or will Red's janitor crew clean them up? As these things are paper thin, and think of Red units like a paper shredder. They make it past the defenses unscathed, looking to cause catastrophic economic damage. Amir truly showing us why he's the best player in all of Beyond All Reason. 1 tick left behind to try and clean up that metal extractor. Sadly though, it gets shut down, sent straight to oblivion. The remaining squadron of ticks here, devastating Thug Walker's backline economy, setting this man into the Mariana Trench, fitting since he is a C player. As the backline push has been cleaned up, let's head over to the front line as the chaos has just begun. The front line in the early game is where everything matters, as if one player falls here, that means everyone else, the other 6 players on each team, don't get to play the game. So holding here, impervious for the rest of the team. You trust your front line to usually your best players, as this is the make or break spot, and the most important spot in the entire game for the first 10 minutes. So watch these 4 masterclass players unfold their strategy live, and let's break it down to see exactly what they're doing. As that Fusi's line of turrets is at risks. Usurper pushing Amir back, massive for red team. As any advantage you get in the middle of the map snowballs heavily your backline. D-gun going wide. Let's strike 1, 2 more, and he's out of there. But meanwhile, a Fusi with the reinforcements has halted the Burger Boss push. Each team looking to fortify and go for trench warfare. It's about to be a long, drawn-out war, boys, so grab your popcorn, grab your Coca-Cola, as I guarantee you destruction is coming our way. And I want to make sure you'll be fully prepared for that ride, because it's about to get wild. As the front line seems to simmer down, let's check on our eco players, the supporting role to the front line. The third Dark Horse. Tier 2 online for Alien. Sheldons already marching their way to the front line. This could be devastating, as if blue has nothing to match this on the opposite side. It's gonna be lights out. Blue Cortex looking for a banisher. Much more devastating, much more expensive. Will it make it there in time, or will the Sheldons shell these men into Narnia? Let's find out. As the walls are coming up from Usurper, looking to build Fort Knox live, as the thugs on the right flank looks to push and prod, trying to break down the fortifying position of Fusi and Amir to break open this game like a tin can. Will they do it, or can they hold? As that banisher has just entered the field. It'll be another 30 seconds before it hits the front line. The Sheldons are already here, putting blue on a timer. Can they hold, or will they break? The units are now falling. Red, confident with their advantage of tier 2, continuously shelling away. The trades, phenomenal for Red. Rocketeers each firing at each other, but Boss Man's commander is quite low, getting healed up by these beautiful construction turrets. Red has 3 on their side. Blue also has 3. Perfectly balanced, as Thanos would have wanted. Sheldon numbers are starting to grow and the fight is starting to unfold. Rockets are being fired across the board, corpses lining up higher than Jack the Ripper's killing spree. Now this is what I call an epic game of Beyond All Reason. The sea, the Naval has now entered the fray. A couple of frigateers shelling away onto land, devastating Yellow's army, setting this man back to the Shadow Realm. Meaning Blue has the forward push. The Thug Walker will respond in C, and Mr. Exclusive holding strong in C as well against better strategy. The C players are chilling and grilling, but the fight still matters the most in the middle of the map, as we have a cheeky gauntlet coming online, but a commander just goes up in flames. Boom goes the dynamite. Half the flank is completely wide open. My man just got exposed live on air. And now Red might take this opportunity, but Emir walks up with a beautiful D-gun, shutting down the push immediately. This is why he's the GOAT, the king of Beyond All Reason. His teammate falls, Emir locks it in. He says, don't worry, I got 4 hands, 4 feet. My man's a spider in action. The Banisher, now uncontested, as Emir blew up half the army with those D-guns. And this thing's just gonna keep chunking away, picking at Red's army, slowly but surely, whittling them away until nothing remains but salt and dust. As Red no longer has the means to contest this aggressive tier 2 army from Blue. Quick recap. The C pushed in from purple, weakened yellow. The explosion from Red, they saw an opportunity, looking to blow open the entire game, but Emir, clutch thinking, walks up, massive D-guns, blowing these guys sky high. Elon Musk would be proud, as finally, that trip to Mars is looking much more realistic. Green still trying to push in, while Red holding strong. Emir just delayed the push, as they are slowly but surely cracking Blue's defenses, as their economy is just stronger. As the Frontline seems to simmer down, let's check in on our content creator team. Not real. Heavy eco wind farms out of this world, looking for heavy economy, scaling into that mid to late game. Will he make it there, or will he fall before this man can truly show us why he's the eco player of Supreme? Let's head over to Blue. Silent Waffle, just trying to get up his geo right now. This will give him massive energy gains, skyrocketing his economy far ahead of Red's commander if he doesn't already have it. Speaking of Red, let's zoom in on their eco style. The geo plant, nowhere near upgraded. Doesn't even have tier 2 mexes. This man's more broke than me. $0 in his bank account. Man's role playing me in a video game. That's what I call commitment. I don't know. Caitlyn here, going for some strong eco as well, but not as much as not real. You can clearly see the eco strategy slowly pulling ahead. As the later the game goes, that eco will come online, and that will snowball the game out of proportion. Well, Red does have multiple things going for them. 1, left C dominating, right C even, but the middle completely and firmly in control of Blue, as Emir has lost his metal extractors, forced to control these banishers like his life depends on it. As these falls, well, that's lights out, boys. His last remaining metal extractor here, in firing range of the Sheldons. Emir has already set out the FF boat, perhaps a little salty that his team is too busy AFK, looking to fatten their coin pouch. As Red, oh, they put the pedal to the metal, as this man has nothing left, leaving their best player high and dry, like a man alone in the desert. No water for miles. That's Emir right now. No teammates. Middle of the map, completely dominated by Red. Absolute chaos. Let's check in on the backline eco players. because this is where the stakes are about to explode. But wait, a cheeky commander. Never mind, all eyes on Burger Boss. He's going for a one and done D-gun play. Can he connect? Could this flip the entire game? Looks for a D-gun. One connects, but not enough damage. The ships propel this man into the stratosphere. He goes up in flames before he lands a scratch. One game-ending play. Two massive throws. Comment below if you think that should have ended the match. Purple swoops in to beautifully shut it down. Devastating. Let's see those eco players now. Orange. Our stealthy air player gearing up for some heavy transport shenanigans. Maybe a comm bomb later on. His tier 2 fully online. Pink ecoing with his bombers. A bombing run is imminent. Let's see if blue is ready. Fighters online for blue team. Looking to intercept red's bombing run. He is in trouble. His tier 2 fully online as well. 2 fusions to boot. And pink is ecoing stronger than a man on roids. Ready to end the game. Well, what is this? Here comes Mr. Exclusive. Another red commander deep behind enemy lines. Looking for some D-gun action to crush blue's economy. But the Banisher sending him faster. Shredding him faster than my sanity. Take a moment to look at the map. Exclusive. See? Completely under his control. Purple dominating the right sea. But red holds a firm grasp over the center point of the map. Meaning they get access to these beautiful metal extractors that give 2 times as much metal per second as the normal ones on this map. Meaning this buys them not only time, but in huge eco advantage, scaling into that mid to late game. Because not only does blue have to respect the push much more than red, as red has much more time to react to a all-in from blue's side, but blue has control over these massive metal extractors that will send their economy through the stratosphere. We even have a cheeky fusion reactor on the front line from Usurper. The confidence unmatched, as this man is starting up his own tier 2 laboratory, looking to put the final nail in blue's coffin. Will he succeed or will he fall flat on his face? As purple still dodging in and out, looking to prevent red from pushing forward, as he is terrified of the mid lane state. If you guys haven't noticed, well, red team's pretty much full Cortex. Look at them all. Cortex enjoyers. Has the meta swap from Armada Rats? Blue doesn't seem to think so, as they're a heavy Armada, where red is heavy Cortex. Each team has their own unique playstyles. I would love to know, what factions do you guys love playing in Beyond All Reason? Personally, I'm an Armada Rat, as I love to see my Starlights and Jaguars send people to the afterlife. Or Cortex, they're too meaty, heavily armored for me. I like my faster vision type units. But Usurper, he's a lover of the sumo armor assault bot. As this thing is looking to waddle into blue's base and send these men packing.
Destroyed.
The commander just has exploded in the sea. Better strategy got caught slacking in the naval department. As Mr. Exclusive, he was well prepared. As now the sea fully dominated by him. And red looking for that all-in push. Let's zoom in on Usurper and pink as they try and break open this game. Will blue hold, or will they fall to the bottom of the abyss? Now, as I think this wall of turret means nothing against the Sheldons. Not only do they outrange them, but blue has no units coming anywhere near. Light blue forced to bring up his tier 2 just to respond to this push, as Amir has nothing to show for himself. As earlier on in the match he was abandoned, and you're really starting to see that now. But his D-gun still coming in absolutely clutch stopping this push in its tracks once again. Amir is no longer the micro king, but the hero, the Lord Savior of blue team, stalling the push once again by another crucial 10 to 15 seconds. May not think that's a lot of time, but when there's a massive army knocking on your doorstep, every second counts. Imagine if this was 10-15 seconds later, this tier 2 laboratory would already be dead. Amir saving the game once again. My man, truly the MVP of this match so far. Let me know who you guys think is the MVP of this match, by the way. And while you're at it, like and subscribe, as I'm always bringing you the best beyond all reason content. The Starlights are now out, firing at the Sheldons, but the Sheldons, they do not fear death. Witness them as they die a glorious yet firm battle, as now the fiends are here to smelt everything down into scrap metal. Amir basically out of the game. This man thought he was building a forward base, but in reality, a graveyard in action. The pawns are firing away, stopping the fiend rush, but Amir's wins are left to cinder. He also has Pink reinforcing him. Usurper and Burger Boss in the 2v5 right now, as multiple opponents from blue side forced to respond to this onslaught of aggression. However, it will be stopped dead in its tracks, but not before the devastation reigns across the land. Countless factories, defenses, and metal extractors all dead. Meaning red has more time to eco, but we have a cheeky bombing run that just came in from blue team. Multiple bombers spotted on the eastern flank. Thankfully, our air player woke up from his Cheeto nap and will shut these down before they get any more damage done. He thought he was going in for a bombing run, but in reality, he was donating to charity, as that man just lost thousands of metal for basically free, cementing red firmly in the driver's seat once again, as their economy starts to outscale blue from their early mid-game advantage. The artillery, all that is holding red back from advancing into blue's defenses and completely sweeping the game. But blue does have a glimmer of hope, as the Starlights, the strongest tier 2 unit in the entire game, has entered the front line, and red has only tier 1 to match this. Can they push through the meat shields from blue and shut down the Starlight push? Or will red break through and end the game, boys? Lock it in, as this battle is getting more chaotic by the second. Bodies flying, nukes will be flying. As the game starts to scale, the match only gets more epic by the minute, because once the economy scales and beyond all reason, tier 3 will come online. That is a whole new ball game to be waiting for. I can't wait to see the Titans, the Behemoths, the Juggernauts entering the fray. But right now, blue has to hold before we can get to that beautiful late game, and they're doing a phenomenal job, as red seems to be going hard into tier 1, perhaps looking for a cheeky push here, as their army is growing quite big, bigger than my ego, and that's a feat on its own. But blue has turrets fortifying harder than Fort Knox, with the artillery, the radar jammers preventing anyone from getting through. Here comes the push. The sumos walking forward, looking to soak up the brunt of the damage. These things are giant meatballs, but we just had a massive explosion. Huge army from blue team goes up in flames. The catastrophic damage from red team's push is immeasurable. The Starlights running, their backs turned. But let me tell you, those incisors, the stoots, it's an all-you-can-eat buffet, as those Starlight booties are looking mighty delicious, as they look to chow down on those precious tier 2 units. The amphibious blood, the scuttles blowing up the pond sky high. What an absolute push from red, coordinated not only from 3 players, but the C player as well getting in on this action as the Scuttles look to push further in to Blue's economy, looking to devastate this man's backline, sending him from rags to homeless town. He's about to be living in a cave outside of town as the Stoots now push in deeper. But there is one catch-22 here, boys, and that is this push will leave behind a fat chunk of chain. So if they can't get enough damage done, Blue can turn this game around. The main question is, can these Stoots get a fusion reactor that will send Blue's base sky high? Sadly, no. The well-fortified position of light blue, Mr. Sentinel, shut that down just in the nick of time. Blue surviving of its teeth more than once, as this game should be over, but they keep holding just before something goes kaboom. Well, Red has been doing consistent damage, poking and prodding at Blue team's economy, slowing down their chances to eco as they have to respect these pushes. And they are just barely surviving them. One misstep, one too many greedy fusion reactors, and this game could be over in a flash. As the tier 1 army still looks to push in, further damaging Blue's defenses. Red, they get a feral wolf. Blue, a scared rabbit, hiding, praying that Red's aggression will stop. Will it? Will they transition to eco? Will tier 3 come online and look to be the answer for Blue's heavy fortifying playstyle? As we now have a couple of ducks, the amphibious bot from Usurper looking to get a Chico eco play going. But the Pitbulls on the eastern sea flank looking to shut that down immediately the second they're spotted. Exclusive now fighting against 2 players, Strategy and Waffle. Can he hold the sea, or will he finally fall? As he's looking to get tier 2 ships online. And these things, walking nuclear vessels. If he gets that Black Hydra, the flagship, the game could be all but over. But as he looks to hold the left sea strong, let's head back over to the front line, as this is where the rockets are firing, the explosions are happening, and the dreams are ending. Usurper now opting for a more artillery route, as the heavy rocketeer bots have entered the front line, outranging all of Blue's heavily fortified position, looking to melt him down into scrap metal, sending him packing with a one-way ticket to pain down. Will Blue be able to respond in time to this onslaught of artillery from Red, or are they going to fall down into the abyss? Walked up and started shooting down the arbiters with their Glocks. Pop, pop, pop. As Pink was sleeping at the job, perhaps he was getting CC'd in real life, or he just took his hands off the monitor. Who really knows what's going on? As now he's finally woken up and pushing in, as he got raged at from Usurper for being AFK, looking to finally end the frontline defense from Afusi. The Persecutor holding strong though, 10% falls, the artillery down, dusted. Pink is now all up in Green's business. This is no longer a war run by, this is a home invasion, boys. Lock your doors, as now Not Real getting the crossfire from the endless onslaught of Burger Boss. This man serves the best Big Macs in all the McDonald's, I'm telling you. As this man is looking mighty thick today, as the red flank has completely crumbled endlessly. Blue has now been opened up to a catastrophic amount of damage. Not Real went for 4 fusions. If he can hold, it will pay. If he falls, that's GG. The tier 1 flooding in left and right. The gates been opened. But the Mammoths here looking to shut down this push before they get any more damage. Once again, Blue's greed causing them to run into trouble. They shouldn't be called the Blues. They should be called the Blue Goblins. These men has no limits. As Tier 3 has finally entered the fray, 27 minutes into this epic match. The Razorback has entered the fray. This thing melts Tier 2 into nothing but atoms. Once it gets in range, these units stand no chance. Paired with the Mammoths, this push has been all but halted. A few remaining pink units have been rallied to the Geo, but they forgot how to use their guns. If this goes up, Graceful's economy on the sea could be in dire state, as this is over half his economy. Boom! The dynamite goes up in flames. Yellow, now forced to use the sea, and with that Geo exploded, Red should be able to win back the right sea. Meanwhile, the left sea also still steady control of Red, but Blue starting to win it back slowly. In the middle of the map, well, we already know what's happening there. Complete domination from Red side. As Blue falls, the units being sent to the afterlife. Perhaps they'll even see Robot Jesus. I wonder if robots even have a god, or are they just one big supercomputer? I would love to know what you guys think down in the comments below. But while we're at that, there is a juicy line of fusion reactors right for the picking. And the Red Army is just about to get in range. Can they get in range and destroy these? This would end the game as we know it. Oh, the commander goes up in flames. The front line is crumbling faster than my sanity in a ranked match. But there is a squadron of Razorbacks here as Blue's scaling is coming online, looking to turn the tide of war. Has this finally been Blue's opportunity to turn the game around? Or will Red's onslaught of endless aggressor still be too much as these Razorbacks miss microed, walked into the meat grinder, sent to the afterlife? That was 20,000 metal down the drain. It's like he forgot to micro. Mid-match, the pressure is getting to him. The weight of his teammates relying on him to carry is just too much for this man to bear. The Sheldons and the Sniper Bots. Amazing. Tier 2 units. These things can devastate even Tier 3 as their burst damage impeccable. Very squishy and slow. But if you can't get on top of them, they will melt everything down to ash and dust. The Mammoth's now coming online. This is just primarily to hold. But Pink, a Tier 1 enjoyer, burger boss. This man doesn't stop with his tomato, lettuce, and cheese. His units to be. As they once again enter into Blue's meat grinder. And they just got sent to Valhalla. As the push finally starts to slow down, we now have Tier 3 finally from Red Team has entered the fray. The Karaganath. All-terrain spider bots. Or in this team, I like to call them the crabs because they got 6 legs. Just like a crab. And they're looking to take this hill and rain devastation from above. They sit upon the mountain tops. Blue's economy is not looking to survive this onslaught. The battle is epic. The sea raging on. Purple. Firm hold on right sea. Left still hold firm by the red team. Each team has their own sea player, but there was a massive bomb run or nuclear missile in the back of the map that has completely shattered Red's economy. Meaning they have no backup. This is all they got, boys. This is everything they wrote. As if they can't break blue team, they will now get outscaled. Their eco in shambles. But these mammoths left to die on the front lines, high and dry. The tier 1 swarm might be too much as Pink is just endless relentless aggression. With the tier 1 spam, he has 5 labs spamming tier 1. This man is the definition of quantity over quality. And it's working. He just needs the res bots now to eat up that beautiful battlefield of 20k sitting on the front line. I know I'm hungry just looking at that. Boys, you know what time it is. Grab your forks, grab your spoons. It's an all-you-can-eat goblin buffet as another commander explosion has happened. The game is truly unfolding, the chaos living. Let's just take a moment to breathe it all in as Tier 1 still on the front line. Tier 2 shelling away at each other. Blue's eco though, starting to outscale. And now we have the king of Armada. The Titan has entered the fray. This thing, a walking juggernaut, will shut down anything in its path. The Karganath shelling away, looking to get these Titans down, but the spam from red team might just be too much, as blue team doesn't have a solid spam user and abuser yet. With the mammoths mixing with the banishers, stopping this push dead in its tracks. Red barely holding on at this point as their economy is now in shambles. They don't have a way back into this game. They need to make something happen. And worst come to worst, the economy from blue team is just getting stronger by the minute, and they have access to this massive reclaim field, which could be the final nail in Red's coffin. Even though their pushes are strong, the flagships are on the front line. It does not matter when you do not have the infrastructure to back up the push. Let's have a look at the economies on both teams. Fusions everywhere in the back line of blue. Beautiful. For red though, nothing but a barren wasteland. Nothing here, nothing here. Absolute travesty. A barren wasteland. Red team had the front line of a dream, dominating on left C, middle of the map. But is it enough to make the comeback now? The map is still, however, continuing to develop as pink, even though we're 35 minutes into the match, this man still believes in the tier 1 dream. W's in the chat, boys, if you're a tier 1 enjoyer. Even when the game has nukes flying, tier 3 juggernauts on the field, do you still build tier 1, or do you finally transition into those more powerful units? Let me know your responses down below. I can tell you, Burger Boss, this man is a tier 1 enthusiast, ride or die enjoyer, as now a behemoth is coming online, and these things can change the tide of war. They are the most cost effective unit in the entire game. One behemoth can destroy this entire army on its own, as its health immaculate, HP so high, and the damage it deals like D-guns on steroids. Long projectiles that shred through the armor of its opponents. Well, we have artillery now coming online. The vanguards have entered the fray. Blue looking to further their economy advantage while giving the red the slow death from artillery. Not taking any chances. Smart. They don't want to throw this game like red has. The Kagana sitting in the middle of the map, trying to desperately hold the front line of any pushes. The sea now completely in control of purple as the ships start to now shell the mainland. Yellow's economy decimated from the ships. While on the left hand flank, better strategy still holding just enough with the support of his blue allies, preventing the ships from devastating Blue's economy on the western flank. Who will break first? Will the sea finally become impactful on the left side, or is it too much to bear? As the behemoth has entered the fray, the last bastion of Red's hope right here, and it's wobbling to get out of the base as it's too thick to even move. A turret sacrifice for the behemoth gods. As this is Red's all or nothing push. Everyone, lock it in, because this is where the match rides or dies. The demons, the flames, the hellions, everything here, everything marches. If this push falls, Red is going to be home. The behemoth angry, trying to fire at the ships in the sky, but there's a bombing run coming through as the push goes forward in the middle of the map. Let's watch the bombing run, as this could end the game before the push even gets there.
Destroyed.
There's a squadron of fighters, 30 in tow, making sure that Red has no hope of winning as they unload their entire payload. And Red's side of the map goes up in flames. The saddest way I've ever seen for a team to lose, as the behemoth is finally starting to play the game. But the bombers are just here. Another explosion. The thermal up in flames, along with Red's hopes and dreams. As the run is not over yet. They don't have the AA to contest with this. There's so much batteries up, but will they stop the bombs? No, they get the load off. Cementing Blue's victory, as now Red's economy completely in shambles. Bombers firing left and right. The behemoth is all we have as the last bastion of hope, as Red's economy non-existent. But you know what they do have? One behemoth, one unit to change the tide of war. 2 Titans, 4 Titans, 5 Titans. Their numbers growing faster than my friendships. And the only thing in their path from Blue securing the victory is one behemoth. Can they shut this thing down with a cheeky D-gun from a commander? Huge explosion goes up in the back of the map. Blue's economy weaker, but still quadruple Red's. With the behemoth in tow, Apex has a commander sitting there waiting to shake its hand. If the behemoth doesn't see this coming, it's going to be lights out, and a quick life he will get. The pings have been out.
Battle paused.
The FF vote is coming. As they see the commander, they know there is no hope left. The bombing runs, devastation, end the match in tow. What an epic battle. Let me know who you guys thought was the MVP of this match. Make sure to like and subscribe, and peace.